Coming up today on World of Trucks, you can count on a lot of action from monster trucks, well-executed jumps, and well-executed perfect landings. Go! Hello everyone and welcome to the 19th annual Toyo Tires four-wheel Jamboree Nationals in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. I'm Claude Wood and today it's the Dodge Monster Truck Thunder Drags. Now I'm sure you're familiar with monster trucks, but if you've never seen them drag race, what an experience that is. I caught up with Pezo, driver of the Predator, and asked him what is the most important aspect of monster truck drag racing.
The first thing through your mind is you got to cut a good light and be as fast as possible. This is straight line drag racing. This is some of the fastest courses that you're going to see. It's amazing to see these 10,000-pound monster trucks probably running in excess of 70 miles an hour from the starting line to the finish line, and it's pretty high flying action after that also.
And it's all about elapsed time.
Definitely, and you also want to be faster than the guy next to you so you can come back for the next round.
Now if that finish line is in the air, do you know if you've won or lost?
Really, you're concentrating on what you're doing, so you have no idea once you leave the line till you actually finish over the other end, turn around, come back to your pit area, whether you won or lost, till somebody actually can tell you whether you have done that or not.
Anticipation, so you have to wait. For a little more information on monster trucks, let's check in now with Doc Riley.
One neat thing about the Dodge Monster Truck Thunder Drags, they vary the course. Sometimes it's an S course, sometimes it's circular, sometimes there's a lot of jumps. But here at Bloomsburg, it's all about the horsepower, baby. The starting line's back there. It's a sprint right here to this nice little jump. It's wide, but you've got to make sure as a driver you put both of your tires right in the right groove so they can come up here, stay away from this post, split the difference, get yourself a good launch, because what you want to do is be able to launch yourself nice and even up in the air, hit the ground, and horsepower all the way to the finish line. This track is all about the horsepower.
Thanks, Doc, and we will watch for that horsepower today. Now, entering today's event, you see Pezo and the Predator currently leading the points with 1,800. Joining me in the booth today, our expert analyst is Rick Carlson. And Rick, we met Pezo earlier, and he's got a lot of things to think about, especially if you own two trucks.
Also has to think about Michael Vaters, the Black Stallion, in the other lane. Pezo, the point leader, started building these trucks when he was 16 years old. He's been doing it ever since. A lot of smoke out of his machine. I don't know if it's going to make a difference. Wow, Black Stallion takes out the points leader.
And what a great thing, Rick, to be involved in a sport that you've had a real love for since being 16 years old. From the top of the course, let's see what happened.
You can see they look fairly evenly, look like they're right in the center of their lanes, but Vaters stayed on the ground while Pezo was up in the air. That made a difference.
What's happened with the old Black Stallion?
Well, the same storyline as ever. You know, you put a little more power in it, working with BDS. They got me a blower that's just built tremendous more power. Turns into a food chain. Our transmissions are weak link right now. We had a handle on that a couple years ago, and we've been doing well with that. And we turned the horsepower up, and here we are.
It's time now for Product Highlight, which previews some of the most interesting and innovative aftermarket products available for your vehicle. Now, with that, here's Doc Riley.
Hey, from time to time on World of Trucks, we like to show you things that are not trucks that you can have a little fun with on your off time or just out cruising around a little bit. 70 years, over 70 years, Carter has been involved in making all kinds of products, from peanut shakers to just about everything else. Enjoy this. The flagship right here is one cool looking unit. First of all, where could I use this and what would I use it for?
Well, you can use it in the woods, your own property, someone else's property. We are going to test it later on this week out in the sand dunes, Nellis Dunes. You can use it for, it's got a trailer hitch on the back. Use it on your farm, use it for fun.
Well, the Interceptor, Robert, tell me a little bit about the power plant. What about the engine?
Well, the engine is actually made by a company called Sanyang Motors, SYM, out of Taiwan. They're the largest scooter manufacturer in the world, and they supply the engine for this. Now, we have a 250cc engine with a 4-valve head and a ceramic cylinder. Now, with that 4-valve head, it produces more power than any other 250 engine out on the market right now. So we've got the most powerful 250 cart coming to market. a ceramic coating on it, it virtually does not wear. It has a 2-year unlimited mileage warranty on this. Other carts are using a separate transmission. The transmission is all built in the engine on this one right here, so you have a more reliable shifting mechanism on them, and a transmission that's going to be a lot more durable than what is now on the market at this point.
What about suspension?
Suspension on this, we use some special shocks that give it a lot more suspension travel all the way around. You've got dual A-arms on both the front and the rear. With the dual A-arms here, it allows each side to work independent from each other on both the front and the rear. Where everything else out there does have some independent front suspension, the rear suspension is not set up in the same manner as we have here. Makes the ride where it'll handle rough terrain a lot better.
The evolution continues with Carter. Stay tuned. At the end of the program, we'll give you complete contact information for a better built machine.
And stay with us. More exciting monster action. Round 1 continues on World of Trucks. Welcome back to World of Trucks. Today brought to you by Tornado. Don't drive without it under the hood. By Stainless Steel Brakes. Performance brakes built right by Stainless Steel Brakes. By Carter Brothers, a better built machine. And by Flowmaster, the exhaust technology company. Now, let's check in with Doc Riley.
In the world of trucks, they keep getting lifted. More altitude, more height, and Sonny from Toyo Tires, what is something that people should keep in mind when they start raising that truck up?
One of the first things you have to keep in mind is that we are changing the dynamics of the vehicle and how it handles. We're lifting the center of gravity of the vehicle, which is going to completely change how the vehicle will handle. So one of the things that a new driver that does these kind of things, when they have to get adjusted to, is how the vehicle will change and how it will handle. The braking distance will change because of the weight of the tires and wheels, and also the way the vehicle, the way it handles in corners will also greatly affect because of the lift of the vehicle.
And that's one thing that people should always keep in mind, whether you're in the construction end of things and just building that lifted ride, or if you're an off-roader as well.
Absolutely. Safety is the key, and getting used to the way the vehicle handles after you've had it lifted and changed the dynamics is very important.
What's the number one thing that people should do before maybe they go off-road with their tires?
One of the most important things is inflation pressure, maintaining proper inflation pressure. Basically, the only thing that holds that tire up is air. And that's what's important. So make sure that you maintain the proper tire inflation pressure for whatever you're doing.
That really is important, and it's so simple to do, so do it. Stay with us. At the end of the program, we'll bring you contact information for Toyo Tires. Remember, they're driven to perform.
Here comes the Raminator. This guy always has a good performance. Mark Hall, the driver, and he will face the Prowler, driven by Larry Jaruzel. And boy, what an obstacle Jaruzel has to overcome here, Rick.
The Raminator, Mark Hall, 3-time defending Monster Truck Series champ, one of the toughest out there. But Jaruzel in Alan Pezo's second machine, the Prowler, has had a very good season, but, well, not this time. It's Mark Hall in the Raminator.
You know, Rick, from the launch, it looked like identical reaction times. Let's take a close look at it as they hammer down right from the takeoff. A lot of smoke there from the Prowler. Is that a problem?
Both Pezo's machines have had smoke. I don't know if it affected them. Right here, all we see is Mark Hall just up, up, and away.
No contest there.
Congratulations, nice win.
Oh, thanks. You know, Alan there, he runs hard. You know, Mikey had a little problem there, but Alan stepped in there, and you gotta step it up when you race him. He does a good job, and we got a great team here. Our Big Red Dodge is running strong, and you always want to get a win, but you definitely want to get one at your sponsor's race. So we're going to work really hard trying to make that happen.
This track seems a little bit different. It's a straight line track, a lot of horsepower, drag track, but it's a little bit different this year at Bloomsburg.
It is. They took away that front roller, or the first roller there, and now we just got a straight line run. When you think, you might think, well, that's easy, but because the track's kind of coming apart, the guys are doing a good job, trying to stay on top of it, but it's starting to get a little loose, so you get that big charge at that set of cars down there, and it makes for a little interesting ride down through there. I got a little loose there, a little wobble there, but our big Dodge stayed right on track, and we was able to get it down there.
We haven't seen a whole lot this season of Jim Leahy and the broker, but gosh, Rick, we've seen Jeramie Dishman a whole lot, and what a success record he has in Rammuntion.
They brought him on as the secondary driver with Mark Hall, and Jeramie has just stepped up, getting better and better. Leahy and the broker, not a regular on the circuit. It's a good-looking truck, but he has his hands full, and it will be Jeramie Dishman in Rammuntion.
We'll go back to the replay and see exactly where Jeramie Dishman took this one. It looks like, Rick, right off the starting line, again, pretty equal.
He left a little bit quicker the front end up, and you can see that Mark earlier talking about the course coming apart. You can see the dust and dirt behind them, and Dishman able to get it hooked up where Leahy could not.
And Dishman really looked straight all the way down.
Now we'll take a look from a different angle and watch them as we get toward the finish line, and let's see up in the air how much difference it is. 3/4 of a truck to Rammuntion.
And that's where it was won. It was all over at that point.
Nice pass. This is a kind of an interesting little track here. Looks like it's all horsepower.
Oh yeah, you definitely got to have the 2,000 horse Hemi is making a heck of a pass there. Pretty much the race is over by the time you get to the cars, but if you're out of gear by the time you get to the cars, you're taking a heck of a ride at the other end. And with these power motors, we can run a little higher gear, so but it seems to be doing pretty good.
It's not like you have to concentrate a lot about setting up for another jump. It's pretty much flat open once you clear that set of cars.
Oh yeah, this is like coming out here and trying to race the Mopar drag teams. I mean, it's awesome.
Well, they thrash furiously on the Black Stallion. We'll take a break, but we'll be back. Stay with us. Welcome back to the world of trucks, and it's a great day in Bloomsburg for the entire family. Now, here's Doc Riley.
Well, the truck world is starting to take on another look and more dimensions all the time. Kevin McClellan joins us from Flowmaster, and you know, the truck platform for all these guys here at the Jamboree has always been good old American muscle and fashion and things of that nature, but we're starting to see a lot more of the imported trucks coming in. Flowmaster staying ahead of the curve on that?
We're trying, Doc. You know, with the domestic trucks dropping off some and the fuel efficiency really coming in, we've addressed that by going into the Toyota Tacoma. We're in development on the Honda Ridgeline, and next we're into the Nissan Frontier. So we're trying as quick as we can to really get those pieces out there for those owners.
Kind of those mid-sized trucks.
Absolutely. You know, the truck is more the passenger car today. The women really like the trucks, so they take and drive these, and they take their kids around. They've got extended cab ones so they can put the whole family in them, and then go to the market. They can go down to Costco and fill them up, you know. So we're trying to take care of those people.
What about, it seems like the import trucks right now trying to get a little bit more bigger, kind of going for the big. You guys looking at that on the horizon at all?
Oh, absolutely. We went down to the press day for Toyota on the new full-size truck Tacoma. So we're already looking at that for the 07. They're supposed to be out in February. We're already getting a start on getting a kit out for those trucks.
And of course, if everyone's got the good old American standbys right there and they're looking to upgrade exhaust, you guys got that all handled, don't you?
Of course, Chrysler, GM, Ford. We've got all of our 06s. We're already in the process of the 07 test fit, so we'll have the kit ready for you when you buy your new vehicle.
Now here's a question. Maybe I've got an older truck, maybe late 1950s or anything else, and I need that exhaust in there. Maybe there's not really a fitment for it. Is there a way around that? Can you guys fit the bill there?
Sure can, Doc. About a year ago, we released what we call our U-Fit Dual Kit, and it's exactly for those builders. The street rod people love them because they can take and build a complete mandrel bent dual exhaust system utilizing all these components. It's all the trick little pieces that are in our kits, and it comes in a box. You throw it on the ground, you lay it out, you cut it up, you weld it together, you put any family of our mufflers in there, the sound you want, and you've got a really nice dual exhaust system for something that any manufacturer is never going to build for that early truck, street rod, an AMC Matador. You know, who's going to have a 3-inch kit for that? So we've released kits that you can build a system for those.
Great. You know, it's all about the signature sound, and Flowmaster definitely has you covered.
Second round action coming at you from Bloomsburg now on World of Trucks. You're looking at Mark Hall and the Raminator. And Rick, before we went to break, we saw Mike Vaters and his crew thrashing furiously. Evidently, he could not make it back.
That broken transmission unable to be replaced, so who comes out? Your point leader, Alan Pezo in the Predator. He will come out and run the defending series champ. It should be a good race, but Mark Hall just moving away from Pezo.
And I think I saw there right after the takeoff, Rick, on the replay, I think we'll see it. It looked like Alan Pezo right after the launch, coming up just about right in there. He seemed to lose power right there.
It definitely looked like a bobble. I don't know how much the smoking. Both his machines have been smoking, and the only thing smoking with Mark Hall and his team is just a way to get down that racetrack.
And that's about the way he does it every single time out. Well, let's put you inside a monster truck. You're inside Predator right now.
Not as smooth as it looks.
And that will bring up this guy. Once again, this is Larry Jaruzel. Now, he is reinstated due to the smaller field that we had today. And actually, Rick, he was the fastest loser. So sometimes losing is not that bad, is it?
Well, not that good. Because you can ask the guy in the other lane, Jeremy Dishman in Rammuntion, he has won everything. More smoke from another one of the Pezo machines. Jaruzel out of there. Jeremy Dishman lands, puts the front end way up in the air. Good looking run. It's going to be an all Dodge final. The Hemi's teammates will run each other.
And notice, Rick, how they're set up on this launch. They want to be in the center of the track, as Doc pointed out, so the wheels do not hit the center post on those cars right there.
Doc Riley now caught up with our two finalists.
A pair of Rams in the finals. Just your thoughts as you match up against the Raminator.
Well, that's all. It's my biggest competition is trying to beat him. You know, he's the top of our sport, so I'm trying to catch him every week. And I got him in Vermont one race, but he kicked my butt 2 other races. So he beat me last night, so we're trying to get into it tonight, and hopefully I catch him.
What are the differences between these two trucks? Are they set up pretty much the same, or do you kind of tune them, or the crew tune them to your particular driving style?
Pretty much the motors are pretty much identical. He's got a carbon fiber hat on we're trying out on his truck, and I got the old setup that he used to have, and they're pretty much equal. We got yesterday in our race yesterday, I had to get out just a hair, so because I couldn't see over the hood. The hood was coming up, and I didn't want to get sideways. And so we jacked the seat up 1.5 inches for me and lowered the front end down. So hopefully I don't have to let. If I have to lift against him, I'm done. So that's the whole thing, is just hold her flat foot and go.
Jeremy runs strong, there's no doubt about it, and he's coming along real well. He's been with us for a few years now, and I think he's been paying close attention. He knows what's going on there, but anytime we can get both Rams in the final, well, heck, we're going to win anyway, so it really doesn't matter which one of us wins, and we don't have no team orders or anything like that. We just race them heads up, and because nobody wants to win them like that. He wouldn't want to win that way, and I certainly wouldn't want to win that way, so we're going to go out there and run them down there and hopefully put on a good race for the fans, and like I say, we're definitely going to get a Dodge in victory lane here.
Not only do we have an exciting final coming up, but freestyle. You don't want to miss this. Trust me. Welcome back to World of Trucks, being brought to you by Tornado. Don't drive without it under the hood. By Stainless Steel Brakes. Performance brakes built right by Stainless Steel Brakes. By Dual Liner, next generation bed liner technology. And by Toyo Tires, driven to perform. It's finals time, and all Dodge final. And Rick, I don't think you could have drawn one up on a piece of paper any better than this one is going to be.
No, this time I think Jeremy Dishman is going to make up for last night's disappointment by getting the win. He's driving Rammuntion while the defending series champ Mark Hall out there in Raminator, 2 tough, big Hemis.
As they get ready to go, they're watching the tree come down, and it looks like Mark Hall got away first.
But Jeremy Dishman goes around for the win. This one we're going to want to take a look at again because they left together, and it looks like they made it all the way down the race course together. Front ends up in the air, dirt flying.
And earlier, Rick, Doc Riley said this is a horsepower track, and that's what happened right there, right?
It definitely was the horsepower, because Jeremy was off to the side. We'll watch them here, and let's see how close it really was as they flew past the finish line. Look at that, less than half a fender length.
Boy, that was close.
You said you needed to do it. Looked like a picture-perfect run. First of all, congratulations.
Thanks, that was fun, man. I was up, front tires came off the ground, I looked over, and Mark's tires were up in the ground. It was bad, it was a lot of fun.
You talked a little bit about this being a different track, but you like this kind of a track where it's all pretty much horsepower?
Oh yeah, anytime you could open it up and let this Dodge Hemi breathe, it's a blast. I mean, you open it up and it just, the more power you put the ground, the higher. I don't know, we're probably running 60 mile an hour or more. I mean, it's great. Let's go faster. Let's make it longer.
And you know what? People got to remember, that's pretty incredible in a 10,000-pound truck.
Oh yeah, I'm 10 foot off the ground, so yeah, it's a blast. Then when the front tires come off the ground, it just keeps getting taller. And Mark, I got to get a good light against him, and he's been doing this forever. I mean, shoot, he's been doing it almost longer than I've been alive. So anytime I can beat him, I'm really happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's real easy to tell right there, Rick. I love a guy that really loves his job, and it's obvious that Jeremy does. Coming into this event, Alan Pezo was leading in the points. He still does. And now it's freestyle. Here comes Jim Lee in the broker.
Freestyle, where they have a ball. That was almost putting it on the bumper. They get to do just what they want. All they're trying to do is show off and let the crowd make noise. What can he do to the cars, yeah, bounce, all four up in the air. The broker looking strong.
And Rick, you mentioned the crowd. Once I asked one of the drivers, when you're in that truck with all of the noise that thing is making, can you really hear the crowd? And he said, absolutely. They live for the crowd.
Here's Alan Pezo in the Predator, the points leader. Well, it's been a long season, and the body's been a little bit beat up at times, but it doesn't matter. He's going to turn it around and take him way up, landing on the left side, and left rear tire, left rear rim. They're separated. They're not together anymore. It's not even going to slow him down.
Yeah, Rick, you can see a lot of war battle wounds on a lot of these trucks, but it looks like he hit sideways there. That's what disengaged the tire.
Larry Jaruzel in the Prowler, up and over. This is the second of the Pezo machines. Good-looking body. Lands front end up in the air. He's having a ball.
Check out the teeth on the front end of this vehicle. It looks like he's ready to crunch up tires and cars and vehicles right there.
Now it's Mark Hall, the Raminator, runner-up for the event. How wild can he take it? That big Dodge Hemi going to come around, and I bet he's going to get some air going over these cars.
Nice jump right there. Oh, he gives it a little gas. Check this out. You know what, Rick? Crew Chief Tim Hall, his heart just stopped right there.
That was exciting enough. Let's watch it again. Up on that left rear tire. Tries to save it, doesn't. A big barrel roll. You can see the tubular chassis. Ends up on all four. And what does Mark do? He's going to reach up, try and restart it again.
Well, never give up. If you would like more information on products shown on today's program, log on to these websites. And be sure to join us on World of Trucks next week. It's the SEMA Show from the Las Vegas Convention Center. Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Now for Doc Riley and Rick Carlson, Claude Wood, keep on trucking.